All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Bubblecon Day 2. My name is Sam. Some of you know me, some of you may not. I work for the Bubble team. I'm here to kick off our first session on the lower stage today. Very, very excited for this one. We are going to be hearing from Michael, who's with the Seagate team, about transforming enterprise with Bubble. So this should be a really, really fun one. Everyone, please welcome Michael Ong to the stage.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Ong. I'm from Seagate, and I'm going to walk you through how we got adoption from enterprise like Seagate with Bubble. Let me share a bit about my background before I get started. So I've spent over 16 years in software development, product management, and working across both enterprises and startups. And I've used Bubble in all of those capacities. At Seagate, I'm kind of bringing these experiences together by building, managing, and scaling an ecosystem of traditional apps and Bubble apps integrated with each other. And I co-lead the product team for the Live business unit, which is like a startup inside of the Seagate Corporation. So the Live product line consists of our, I guess you could say it's the edge to cloud data logistics platform for Seagate. So all of our SaaS product lines are under the Live brand. And today I'm gonna share like how these experiences that I've learned by integrating Bubble into a big company like Seagate have taken place and build it into a kind of a playbook for anyone else trying to do the same thing. So throughout my journey with no code, both as the in-house developer as well as in collaboration with agencies, I've encountered several recurring challenges that the developers and agencies face when dealing with enterprise environments. So how do you get your foot in the door, first of all? That can be a challenging thing. Enterprises are often very risk adverse, so you need to be able to get past that. And how do you scale your solutions? So whether it's navigating the internal politics or overcoming technical skepticism within the company or dealing with InfoSec, compliance, data privacy teams, all of these challenges can kind of derail your efforts if they're not well managed while you're trying to bring it in. So, and finally, how do you empower your team? So how do you get people onboarded onto Bubble to build your own tools and empower different teams across the business? So I'll walk you through how to tackle each one of these challenges head on and ensure that you're prepared every step of the way. All right, so to set the stage, let me give you a closer look at Seagate and our Live brand. I'm sorry, I forgot to skip. Sorry, let's see. There we go. Okay, so let me give you a closer look at Seagate and our Live brand. So as many of you know, Seagate is a global leader in enterprise data storage, or not even enterprise, consumer as well. We've been around since 1979, and we have over 45,000 employees worldwide. And Seagate has a rich history of innovation, again, dating back to 1979. And within Seagate, the Live brand operates like a startup, focusing on our subscription-based services that provide an edge to data logistics platform. And this unique structure of being a startup within a large enterprise brings some unique challenges. But while still allowing us to innovate quickly, there's still a lot of that corporate red tape that we have to get through. I'm just making sure we're on the right one here. Yeah, so as a team within a large company, we had to face what I call like the agility paradox. On one hand, we needed to operate within the speed of a startup, but on the other hand, we're heavily reliant on the resources of the overall corporation, like IT, marketing, or engineering teams. So those dependencies can often slow you down. They slowed us down significantly. For instance, a simple request to build an internal tool, it could take months or even years just to budget constraints, backlogs in IT, and the bureaucracy in general, or conflicts with other projects. So traditional development approaches have long timelines, high costs, and they weren't viable for us if we wanted to keep that agility that number one benefit being a startup allowed us. You lose that if you don't have that agility. So if we wanted to keep pace with the market, this is where no code comes into play and kind of empowered us and became essential for us to find a different approach to development. So faced with these challenges, we turned to Bubble as a solution. And with Bubble, we were able to eliminate our dependency on traditional development teams. Instead of waiting months for IT to develop a tool or a process, our teams could deploy a solution in a matter of days or weeks with Bubble. And it wasn't just about speed. It was about, speed was a significant factor, but it was about empowerment. And Bubble gave us the ability to innovate independently without so much reliance on the traditional IT process and its limitations that bog us down. So for any agencies looking to pitch Bubble into the enterprises, that's a critical selling point, that Bubble just doesn't just save time and money. It fundamentally changes how organizations operate, making them more agile, more responsive, and more innovative. So we'll get into the specifics of how we applied Bubble at Seagate. We started with internal tools, which I consider as the best entry point for no code in an enterprise. Internal tools are generally lower risk, but they can offer high impact, so making them kind of an ideal starting point. And after you establish that strong foundation with the internal tools, you can move on to transition to tackling more complex customer-facing applications like we did. So one of our most significant projects was called the Live Management Portal. And this is a critical application used by our customers to manage their products and services within the Live ecosystem. So they manage their entire data logistics across various systems and Live services, everything from orders, subscription management, security, user management, billing, invoices, you name it, is done in this Live Management Portal. And it's really the heart of the Live portfolio of services. And that was a tremendous success. And then building on the success of our customer-facing application, the Live Management Portal, we recently expanded our use of Bubble into the marketing domain. So more of the pre-logged in pages, landing pages, content, and that's a whole new ball game too when it comes to localization and all that fun stuff. So these marketing pages and next foray were kind of a crucial pivot for us as we launched new products and services. We're able to really pick up the pace there. So at Seagate, we built several internal tools using Bubble within an app we call the Admin Console. And I think it still contains a suite of around 11 different micro applications. So it's just a big admin portal, a bunch of different micro apps, and one of those micro apps is what we first started with. And they allow us to manage everything from order fulfillment, logistics tracking, service delivery, admin controls, and other Bubble and non-Bubble related apps within our ecosystem. So they're really instrumental. When we built these tools, they're really instrumental in us demonstrating the value of Bubble to key stakeholders in the organization. We were able to show that with Bubble, we could deliver solutions 10 times faster, and that's conservatively, than traditional development methods, and at a fraction of the cost. Again, like 10x, it comes to mind, conservatively. So it wasn't just about speed or cost savings, though. It's about proving that Bubble could handle the complexity of enterprise-grade tools while satisfying rigorous demands of some of the stakeholders, like the business teams, IT, and InfoSec. For in-house developers and agencies, starting with internal tools allows you to build the trust, and you can demonstrate quick wins that showcase Bubble's capabilities and its alignment with your business objectives. It provides a low-risk entry point where you can prove the value of your services and set the stage for way more significant wins down the road. And as you start to deploy no-code solutions in an enterprise, particularly in critical areas like customer-facing applications, you'll inevitably encounter increased significant scrutiny. It often comes from multiple directions. Again, InfoSec, IT, legal, the data privacy teams. Each of these stakeholders has its own concerns, and it's your job to address them effectively. InfoSec, for instance, will likely require detailed security reviews, penetration testing, bug bounties, and possibly compliance audit for SOC 2 or ISO 27001 compliance. And we encountered this at Seagate. Our InfoSec team, they needed to ensure that Bubble-based solutions could withstand potential cyber threats. So this meant going through the penetration testing, bug bounty programs, and addressing any vulnerabilities that were identified. We learned a lot about securing Bubble applications in that process. That's why it's absolutely mission critical that you have a very strong fundamental understanding of how to secure Bubble applications for enterprise. If you don't do it, it'll get discovered very quickly. And these enterprises are very risk adverse, right? That's a very low tolerance for security flaws. So it'd be a good idea to work with someone at Bubble that can help you answer any security-related questions that may arise in that entire process, whether building or going through the compliance, rigmarole with InfoSec. Legal and data privacy teams will be focused on compliance. Could be GDPR, HIPAA, or other regulations relevant to your specific country. For example, we had to ensure that our Bubble applications complied with Seagate's stringent data privacy policies, which dictate careful data handling and encryption processes. IT might have concerns about Bubble, how you're going to integrate with existing enterprise systems like the ERP system, your CRM system, or other IT platforms that are managed by the IT team. Then that's where Bubble's API connector capabilities really come into play, and they become essential. But at Seagate, we used these capabilities extensively to ensure a seamless integration with all of our existing infrastructure that we have at Seagate. And particularly for features like single sign-on and data synchronization, you'll need these capabilities. So to understand, you need to understand an understanding of enterprise environment strategies and how to manage them within the Bubble application, where you have multiple layers of environments, also known as branches, right? From development, QA, UAT, staging, production, and how to integrate with all of those respective environments from a similar Bubble environment or equivalent. And the challenges you'll need to overcome with data coming in from multiple systems into a single database on the Bubble end. So familiarize yourself with how to segregate your data within the database. And you'll also likely need a static IP address because to integrate with any internal IT system, they will require it. because they'll put you on an allow list for your application to communicate in. So that means you either need to get on enterprise or like a dedicated Bubble plan, or you'll need to use a proxy somewhere up on Azure or AWS or wherever, right, that has a static IP. So one of the two. We went with the dedicated, of course, and it's worked out great for us. So the key to navigating these obstacles and preparation is preparation and proactive communication with all these teams. For in-house developers, this means aligning closely with these departments from the very start, right? Bring them in early, and for agencies, it's about presenting your solution that is not just technically sound, but it's fully compliant with all the enterprise standards. So for the live management portal, we had originally spent about $2.3 million a year on external software development agency to build out the original live management portal, but it was expensive to maintain. The pace of development was slow, and we faced issues with bugs and usability. It wasn't even mobily responsive, and I knew we could do something better, and so Bubble was the key to that. So, the transition from porting, an existing app over to Bubble isn't without its challenges. Migrating large amounts of data into maybe a new data model from the old app to your Bubble app, integrating with all the same internal systems, Salesforce, SAP, you name it, and ensuring that, the application met all of the stringent, security requirements and compliance for data privacy. That's just a few of the hurdles that we had to overcome in bringing it in. So for instance, we had to work closely with our IT and InfoSec teams to ensure that the new system adhered to all of our internal security policies for SOC 2 and ISO 27001 compliance, SSO, and passed rigorous penetration testing. It also required that we move Bubble to that dedicated environment so we could get that static IP that we need to connect to all the internal IT systems. And in about 5 months, we were able to deliver a completely new application, vastly improved user experience, and a much cleaner, efficient, and more responsive architecture for the application. The deployment times for new features were slashed from months into the days or weeks. The overall cost of maintaining the application was significantly reduced from that $2.3 million annually mark, way down. And we did it all with a small team of around 6 product managers, turned Bubble developers, right? They replaced an entire team of more than 20 contractors, ranging from designers, developers, QAs, architects. And for agencies, this type of project showcases how you can take an enterprise's most critical applications and not only modernize them, but also deliver tangible business value in the terms of cost reductions and improved customer satisfaction. So one of the most remarkable outcomes of adopting Bubble at Seagate has been the transformation of our product management team itself. So we had a group of very talented product managers, some of which are here today, and most of them really had no experience in design or development or Bubble at all. And within about a month, we were able to completely democratize the development process. So there's about a month of onboarding, learning Figma, Bubble, whatever, the whole 9 yards. Only took about a month, and then we were off. And then a few months later, we were done. So, it's really thanks to Bubble's and Figma's intuitive platforms. So these product managers rapidly learned not only how to design Figma, but how to develop full applications in Bubble with no prior development experience. And they became empowered to take on the roles of the engineers, the developers, the QA, the designer, all wearing their product manager hat still. So it allowed us to entirely replace our reliance on external software development teams. or vendor, because it's a third party. So instead of outsourcing our development effort, we now had a fully in-house team capable of delivering high-quality, scalable solutions. The product managers became kind of like a full-stack team, handling everything from the product management to design, development, testing, and all thanks to Bubble's ability to simplify and streamline the development process. So building on the success of that, of the customer-facing applications, we recently expanded our use into marketing. And this was a crucial area for Live as we launched new products and services and repositioned existing products and services. So this expansion brought in kind of a new set of stakeholders now for us to convince. That's the marketing team. So we have to adhere to very specific requirements from design guidelines to branding adherence, tone and messaging, and accessibility considerations. So initially, we turned to our internal marketing team to handle the development of these landing pages, and we quickly ran into challenges. So the internal marketing team, this is the corporate, Seagate corporate, provided us a quote of around $500,000, I think it was, and a timeline of 6 to 12 months. Clearly not feasible given our time constraints and time-sensitive product launch goals. So that's when the Live product team, leveraging Bubble, stepped in. And in just 3 weeks, and with no additional external spend, we were able to deliver all the required landing pages that met the marketing team's guidelines. And that was all done just by 2 people from the team. And while the rest of the team continued working on other applications, other products that they're building. So we even wrote initially of the copy ourselves using AI. So we literally became like one-person marketing agency, building landing pages, putting in content, and then just having it finalized. So it was pretty impressive. And the case study here is a testament to how Bubble can be used to meet even the most demanding enterprise needs and timelines. And it's a clear example of how no-code can drive significant value beyond traditional IT projects, completely changing how teams and business units for the entire organizations operate. So let's take a closer look at the ROI that we've achieved through our use of Bubble at Seagate. In the first year alone, the impact was remarkable. We saw a 10x increase in the speed of development for our internal tools. And that transitioned directly into cost savings, up to 10 times less spend on those Bubble applications. The immediate ROI from those projects was critical for gaining further buy-in from the senior management and other stakeholders across the organization to expand the use of Bubble. But it really doesn't end there. As we expanded our use of Bubble into the customer-facing applications, the savings continued to grow, of course, and by the 3rd year, the efficiencies that we had gained through Bubble had really compounded. The recent Marketing Pages project is a perfect example of this. By using Bubble, we're able to deliver high-quality, compliant solutions at a fraction of the cost of traditional methods. And beyond the financial metrics, Bubble allowed us to become more agile as an organization. We could respond very quickly to marketing demands, iterate on our solutions a whole lot faster, and scale our operations without the typical growing pains associated with traditional software development. And for agencies, when you demonstrate that Bubble solutions will save the client money, reduce time to market, and improve overall business agility, you position yourself as more of a strategic partner rather than just a service provider or a developer. And as we reflect on the journey that we've taken with Bubble at Seagate, there are some lessons learned that could be helpful for you. So the first thing is to build trust to get your foot in the door. When introducing something as transformative as no-code, it's critical to begin with manageable projects that deliver quick wins. This builds confidence among the stakeholders at your company, and it allowed us to demonstrate the value of Bubble in a low-risk environment. So if you're looking to get started, we recommend choosing a project that addresses a real pain point within the organization, but is not mission critical. This ensures the project is manageable and allows you to demonstrate the potential of Bubble without the risk of major disruption. And the second is to be prepared for increased scrutiny, especially as you scale. So success brings attention, and with that attention comes scrutiny from departments like InfoSec, IT, and legal. And it's important to anticipate these things and prepare for them accordingly. And at Seagate, we made sure to involve these stakeholders early in the process and address their concerns proactively. You want them on your side, trust me. And this will help unlock the ROI with customer-facing tools. The third is the importance of education and advocacy. So no-code is still a relatively new concept somehow for many organizations. At Seagate, part of our success was due to our efforts to educate others about the capabilities of no-code and advocate for its broader use. For in-house developers, this might mean running workshops or creating documentation to share with other teams. For agencies, it's about positioning yourself not just as a service provider, but a trusted advisor who can help clients navigate the complexities of digital transformation. And I really hope this playbook is helpful when you work with more enterprises. Feel free to reach out to me or contact the Bubble sales team. They can help you handle common objections from enterprises and help you transform your companies. Thank you.